Okay, so today we're going deep on something pretty fundamental, or we're diving into planet Earth. But, not just the surface stuff. We're talking about all those interconnected systems that make this place tick, make it habitable.
Yeah, exactly. It's more than just rocks and water. There's a whole lot going on beneath the surface and even up in the atmosphere that makes Earth, well, Earth.
Right. And we've got a ton of information here to help us unpack all of it. We really want to break down how these systems all work together to support life because it's not just one thing, right? It's this whole crazy web of interconnectedness.
Absolutely. And it's actually pretty remarkable how it all comes together.
So I guess the first thing to consider is just like where Earth is in the grand scheme of things. I mean, we're the third rock from the sun, right? Orbiting at a very specific distance, roughly 149.6 million kilometer.
Right. And that distance is key. It puts us in what they call the Goldilocks zone. Not too hot, not too cold, just right for liquid water, which, as we know, is essential for life as we know it.
And we've had a good amount of time to develop too. 4.5 billion years is, oh, it's a long time.
Oh, yeah, plenty of time for geological processes to play out, continents to form and shift, and of course for life itself to emerge and evolve.
Speaking of which, it's wild to think about how Earth is this unique combination of land, water, that's the hydrosphere, and then the atmosphere. You don't really see this anywhere else in our solar system, at least not in the same way.
No, you don't. And the interplay between those three is really what makes things interesting. You've got the solid Earth, the liquid water, and the gaseous atmosphere all interacting, constantly shaping and reshaping each other. That creates the conditions for all sorts of ecosystems and supports millions of species. It's a mind-blowing, really.
Okay, so let's dig into that solid Earth for a second. It's not just one big solid chunk, is it?
No, definitely not. We've got layers. You start with the crust, which is what we stand on, then the mantle, which is kind of this semi-molten layer beneath the crust, and then deeper down, the outer core and the inner core.
And it's those deeper layers that really drive a lot of the action, right?
For sure. The mantle is where things get hot and heavy, literally. The heat from the core creates these convection currents in the mantle, and that's what moves the tectonic plates. Those plates are like giant puzzle pieces that make up the Earth's crust, and their movement causes earthquakes and volcanoes.
Talk about dramatic. But they're not all bad, right?
Definitely not. Those events have been shaping the planet for billions of years. They've created mountains, valleys, and even helped form our atmosphere by releasing gases from deep inside the Earth.
Oh, right. And that atmosphere is pretty vital, to say the least. I mean, it's mostly nitrogen and oxygen, which is what we breathe, but it also does a lot more than that.
It acts like a giant shield, protecting us from harmful radiation from the sun and space debris. It also regulates temperature and creates different climate zones around the planet.
Yeah.
And of course is made up of different layers itself. The troposphere where weather happens, the stratosphere with the ozone layer, and so on.
We can't forget about climate change, though. It's a huge issue, and it's directly related to how we're impacting the atmosphere.
Absolutely. Human activities are releasing greenhouse gases, and that's warming the planet and changing weather patterns in ways that can be pretty devastating.
Yeah, it's something we need to take very seriously. Okay, so we've talked about the land and the air, but what about the water? Earth is like 71% covered in water, which is pretty unique in our solar system.
Totally, and that water is essential for life. The oceans play a massive role in regulating the planet's temperature, and they're home to a vast amount of biodiversity. And of course, fresh water is critical for life on land, for humans, animals, and plants alike.
It's all connected too through the water cycle evaporation, condensation, precipitation. It's a constant flow.
It is. But unfortunately, our water resources are under threat. Pollution and climate change are impacting water quality and availability around the world.
Right. And that brings us to the biosphere, which is essentially all living things on Earth, how they interact with each other and their environments.
And that's where we see the amazing diversity of life, different ecosystems. from forests to deserts to coral reefs, all supporting unique communities of species.
It's mind-boggling to think about how many different forms of life exist on this planet.
It really is. And that biodiversity is crucial for keeping ecosystems healthy and functioning. But human activities like deforestation and pollution are putting a lot of pressure on this delicate balance, leading to habitat loss and even extinction of some species. That's why conservation efforts are so important. We need to protect the amazing web of life that we have here on Earth.
Couldn't agree more. And to think all of this is happening on a planet that's constantly in motion. I mean, we're spinning on our axis every 24 hours, giving us day and night, and we're orbiting the sun every 365 days, which gives us our year.
And don't forget about that tilt. Earth's axis is tilted at about 23.5 degrees, and that's what gives us our seasons. It's pretty incredible how something as simple as a tilt can have such a profound impact on life on Earth.
Not to mention the moon, which is our constant companion. Its gravitational pull creates tides, and it actually helps stabilize Earth's rotation.
It's like a cosmic dance, really. All these celestial bodies interacting and influencing each other in fascinating ways.
So if we step back and look at the big picture, it's clear that Earth is this incredibly complex and interconnected system. There are so many factors that have come together to create the conditions for life, and it's a delicate balance that we need to protect.
I think that's a great takeaway. Understanding this interconnectedness is crucial for appreciating the fragility of our planet and for finding ways to live sustainably.
It's been an amazing deep dive into our planet. For everyone listening, I'd like to leave you with a question to ponder. Considering all these interwoven systems, what single aspect of Earth's interconnectedness do you find most crucial for its continued ability to support life?